What's up guys? This is day 4 of me trading my 100k funded challenge, and today I'm up $3,056. This brings my total account balance to 2% in profit. So let me jump into the charts and show you which trades I took today. So we have EURUSD on the left and DXY on the right. So let's do a top to bottom analysis. So we start with the daily time frame. So as I mentioned in previous videos, I was short this week on EURUSD and bullish on DXY because it's inverted. So as you can see, I marked previous weekly high as my target and previous weekly low as another target. But I was expecting previous weekly low to be swept primarily this week. So if we go to 4-hour time frame, you can see that on EURUSD, in yesterday's video I mentioned that we swept this fractal liquidity. Then today in the morning we did a break of structure on 4-hour, and then we traced a little bit and then came lower, same with DXY. And now if we drop to 1-hour time frame, let me just remove that thing. We can see that Asia made another low, and this is the start of Frankfurt. So what happened before London? What was I expecting, and why did I even take these two short positions? So as we can see, this is Frankfurt. It swept this liquidity, but overall we're so close to previous weekly low that I was just waiting for any short setups to form. Okay, so I wanted to find a continuation to this bearish movement, and the same on DXY. As we can see, I just wanted to long because we closed with the body above this wick and we overall bullish. I don't see why I would seek any short setups, right? Sorry, on DXY if we were to short. So let's drop the 15-minute time frame. So what am I seeing? Now this is almost the start of London. So I have two scenarios in my head. So I want to see, the first scenario is sweep of Frankfurt, yeah. Then I want to see price to come back to this inducement, and I want to see what we going to do from there. Are we going to sweep it and die, or are we going to carry on higher to this order block and then die from here? So if I was to short, I would want to short from this order block. If no reaction is given of this order block, I would want to see price at least come into this OT area. So if we were to put Fibonacci retracement, OT area, and fill this FEG and go lower from there. So these are my short positions. I wasn't seeking any longs due to the fact that we are so close to previous weekly low, and trying to long in this area is kind of dangerous. I would only consider longing if previous weekly low was swept. Okay, so let's see what happens. So London opened. We see a sweep of Frankfurt. We don't see a sweep on DXY though, but that's not really the problem. We focus on EURUSD now. Then at the same time, we have a RSI divergence. Okay, so as you can see here, and on RSI is shown low and a higher low, but the price shows low and a lower low. So that's a RSI divergence, which can indicate that a reversal is possible, quite likely. So now I'm waiting to see what's happening when price interacts with this IDM. Okay, so I'm seeing that we penetrated with the body. So now the first thing I'm paying attention to is how the price is going to react when it reaches this order block. And I also marked a 1-minute precision order block, which I explained in my video about order blocks, that this is what we want to see. This is where we want the price to react off when it approaches order block, because we don't just blindly like enter off the first type of order block. Okay, so I had this order block tapped, 1-minute order block, and I'm waiting to see what price is giving me. This is a very nice corridor, by the way. Pay attention to this. When price does this sort of formation, like, this is very likely that it's gonna drop soon. You know, this corridor is like quite bearish, so it's like accumulating but upside to the upside. You know, so I was just waiting for it to tap any of my key interest areas. So I'm just waiting, and it goes up, taps the order block, and gives me a proper reaction from there, as you can see, right? And this is also given with the fact that now we have a break of structure. So this is a break of structure for me because this is the low that made this high. Sorry, this was actually the low, but I was considering this as a break of structure. Then look what price does. It does another break of structure. So now, like looking at my strategy, the way I trade, we got a break of structure. Now I need to enter off the 1-minute order block that was formed at the top. So now we tap this order block, we formed another one, and I'm waiting for price to come back to it. The second option, how I usually trade as well, is off the sweep of external liquidity. So as I already explained before, order block, in this case it's external order block. So the last order block, which in this case acts as the last support area, or no, sorry, resistance area before the range is broken. Okay, so if this is like the last point before we break the range, And there is also this thing called external liquidity, which acts as the last liquidity area, the liquidity sweep before the last order block is reached. Okay, so that's our external liquidity, and it usually works really well, especially if it's within the OT area. So let me just show you how I entered using this external liquidity. So I'm waiting to see what price does, and it comes back up. I see it starts retracing. I'll place my alerts, and now price slowly comes back, sweeps this external liquidity. Look, like guys, this doesn't get any more precise. Like this is just like sniper entries. Like seriously, we tap 1 minute block very precisely. Then we form this order block. Price doesn't quite reach it, but then it like literally sweeps this. I don't even know what's called in English. This word, like very accurately sweeps this external order block just by like a couple pips and then dies. And pay attention to what DXY does. That was another confluence for me. So DXY comes back into the into discount, sweeps this low, as you can tell, sweeps this low, and gives us a bullish reaction. And whenever you see this, this can indicate you that the price will not go any lower. It's like unlikely that it will go lower and go higher. So you know what I mean? Usually if this low is broken, it's just going to continue going further down. Okay, so now I'm realizing that this is potentially the entry. Given the fact that we swept external liquidity, we are also in the OT area, as you can tell. Yeah, OT area. So I just enter this trade. I go into the short position. I open a short position. We don't need any DXY for now. So okay, let's see what I do next. So we're in the short position, goes down. This was my first take partials profit zone, so at this low, because there was just like a lot of area where the price could bounce off and potentially reverse, so I decided to take it safe. So once the price tapped this low, I took 50% of my position, so I think I made $600 on that trade. Sorry, just on that trade. And then I saw that we have SMT with DXY. Actually, we may need the chart. We had SMT with DXY, and what I mean by that is if you look at DXY chart and EURUSD, you can see that DXY went really much lower than EURUSD. EURUSD hasn't even swept this liquidity, but DXY was about to tap this 1 minute order block. So this 1 minute order block could have been a dangerous one for me, because from there the price could just reverse and Euro sequentially could just go higher. So I decided to take partials, and then I saw that we have SMT, so I didn't want to risk my money on this trade anymore. So what I did, I just placed it to break even. So I put my stop loss to break even, and as soon as the price came back to my entry, I closed it. So essentially this was me getting out of this trade. Then a few minutes later, I see that we tap another 1 minute order block, which is this. Okay, so can you see already from my videos how I'm showing you how the price is moving from a block to block? Not FUGs or nothing like that, just blocks. So in this case, we came back to this 1 minute order block. I'm seeing a swing failure pattern, so we failed to go above it, and I'm just entering here. So SFP, this is another swing failure pattern. So we come back up, failed to go high, and I intended to enter here, but because I was just like, I think the slip was just something, my entry was actually here. So now I enter another position, very tight stop loss, and in this case 1.5 RR, which was here, this was also 1.5 RR, something like that. I decided to take another 50% off because I just didn't want to risk anymore. I saw further SMT happening, as you can see here. DXY has taken this low while Euro hasn't, and this is like a very high probability that the price is going to reverse whenever you see this kind of SMT. So what happens next? I placed my stop loss to break even again and made another $600 on this trade. So in total, I made 1,200 on these two trades. Okay, that's it. And as I already said, price actually reversed because we had SMT, sweep of liquidity, and stuff like that. Okay, and then New York comes. I know I said in the last video I'm not gonna trade New York. I know, but I wasn't planning to today. But I was just looking at the chart and I saw this trade and I was like, wow, this is like H-star setup. I have to take it. And I was actually like very happy that I took this trade, because trades like that come very rarely in my opinion. So the trade that I took was actually on GBP USD. Let me just explain to you why I quickly took that trade. So standard assumptions for my interest, standard confluence. We tap the block, we have SMT with Euro. This is called intersession SMT. So this New York session, but we have SMT between the sessions. So as you can tell, this is higher than this, and in this case, this is lower than this high. So I saw SMT, I saw that we have error side divergence as well. So if you can tell, this high is lower than this high. Sorry, it's higher than this high. I'm really bad at explaining SMTs. So we have SMT, error side divergence. Then we also have this pin bar candle. So long wick, swept this liquidity. And what do? I go on lower time frame. I try to find any entries if I can see any. We don't really need USD here anymore. Let me just go on GBP. Okay, so I go on GBP/USD. I see the sweep. I was initially thinking to enter at this break of structure, but I decided to wait for 1 minute order block. Price does come to 1 minute order block after tapping this 15-minute order block within it, but it doesn't give me any reaction. You see, it's just like fake out. So if I was to enter around here, it would have stopped me. So we see a sweep of this 1 minute order block and then break of structure. And here I was like really confident that we're going to go lower. Why? So first we have a tap of order block, then we have a sweep of this high within the order block, and then we have a further sweep, the third sweep within this order block. So sorry, the second sweep. So the second sweep usually means the price is likely to drop from here, like from what I've observed. And today proven to work. So I placed my limit position at this break of structure. So I think because of the volatility, it kind of opened a bit higher. My take profit was at the 15-minute inducement, which is this. This is actually not inducement, my bad. Inducement is this. Yeah, I should have targeted that. I actually don't know why. Yeah, very small take. But anyway, this I was still happy with the take profit that I've placed because this is like $2,000. I was already at $1,200 plus $2,000 brings me to like $3,200, but including commission and everything, I went $3,000 in net profit for the day. So I could have targeted this, but yeah, that's a bit too good to be true for me. That's what it looked at that time. Okay, I still think this is a really decent position because I had all the high time frame confirmation. I entered at the break of structure, and I didn't really have to wait long for price to hit my TP, you know. And looking at your USD, what did happen on the USD? It has also dropped, but because we didn't have any sweep of liquidity and this accumulation, it looked really ugly. So the same thing that happened yesterday during New York, someone messaged me in the comments saying, oh, you should analyze daily time frame, and because on a high time frame you would have seen that your USD is consolidating, and that's why you shouldn't be trading. But this was literally the reason why I was trading GBP USD and not Euro, because GBP wasn't consolidating. So you can use that consolidation as a reason to enter off SMT if there is one. So like today and yesterday during New York, okay? I think yesterday, yeah, the GBP had swept this London's high. So as you can see, this is the 4th day in a row that I have found a setup for myself. And I think trading on a low time frame has pretty much, like, you know, I started doing this since October last year, and it has changed my trading experience completely. If before I used to catch like 1 or 2 trades a week, and I thought that was like, that's what you should be doing because that's what like institutions do and that's what like the best traders do. Now I see that like I can trade at least 1 trade a day, and as long as my psychology is right, I should always make money. If I'm just sticking to my strategy, if I'm thinking long term, if I'm focusing on my trading, the process itself, instead of actually just like making money, you know. So yeah, I'm up 2% on my account at the moment, 6 more to go. So I hope everything will go fine from here. I'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching this video, and just want to remind you that if you want to see my trades as fast as possible, I post them in Telegram, so I'll put it in the description. Look at my Telegram, check it out, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me either in the comments of this video or in the Telegram. Thank you guys.